Hello, friends. Welcome back to ENTOPDBA channel. Today we are going to discuss about these two topics. The first one is DBA daily basic checks, and the second one is the database daily health check. And the third one we're going to discover it on the next video, which is database health check automation. So the idea behind this video is, let's say the moment DBA entered the office early in the morning and start his shift and do his daily tasks. So what are the necessary check the DBA has to do in different levels, such as database level and server level? DBA also has to do database daily health check. So here we're gonna discuss how DBA can do and what are the approach of day-to-day DB database health check, and what are the different tools and different technologies that DBA can use it to make sure that database and server are up and running and are in healthy conditions. So I will explain everything in this video. So before DBA supposed to do all mentioned tasks manually, which could took longer time for a DBA to check the database health and server. So by using shell script, which will be covered in the third topic, database health check automation, and doing automation can help DBA to check the day-to-day database and server health. So by make it automation, we can make DBA life easy. So that's why we are going to discuss about database health check automation, which is this one on the next video. This is an example of report. This is an example of report. So the moment DBA start his day in the office, he should run this script, which will generate a complete report in HTML format, where you can see all your database activities. Let's say my database name is OEM. So once the DBA run this script, so he can understand and get the idea that his database, the database instance name is OEM. OEM database is up and running. So that's a good, the first thing we have to check that database should be up and running. The second thing, listener is up and running in order to establish a connection with the front end or the front tower, which is application. So, and then we're gonna check the memory, free memory of our server, and then we're gonna check the disk utilization, as you can see, which is the mount point. This is the root, and this is the SHM boot and home U01. Most likely U01 is the mount point file system, which the database a data file, archive log, and everything is gonna be stored here. So we have to make sure that we have enough spaces in the mount point of U01. And this is database connectivity check. And this is timestamps, database current status, which is archive is started, and DBA rack. This is not the rack database. So this is the version. And this is database details. This is database parameters, and as well as tuning PPA, SGA, and PGA report, as well as tuning shared pool size. As you can see, we have everything here, tuning buffer caches and tuning read log buffer. So it's very SQL script complete report, which will generate in HTML format. So this is PGA aggregated target, which DBA can use it for his day-to-day activity in order to check the database and server health check. So basically, I have written many scripts in this one report. if a DBA is supposed to do every script manually, let's say to check a database size and then table space name, each and every one has separate SQL scripts. So it's going to take his time, let's say almost going to take like 2 or 3 hours. But this is very, very complete reports. Within a second, he can run the shell script and will get that will generate a very beautiful HTML and complete HTML report for him. And this is data file name, and this is control file. And as you can see, we have a read log files here. We have database users activities. These are the usernames. We have the object created in this week list, and as well as data file RMAN configuration and backup. Okay, and this is top system time events. And as you can see, it's very complete reports, monitor DB corruption or need of recovery. And this is invalid objects. So you can see everything in one report, which can save time for DBA to review the report. So here, as you can see, instead of running each command separately and manually, DBA can create a shell script and run all commands in one script, as you can see, in one script. And this will generate a complete HTML report. So let's start. Let's start the video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe it and press the bell button for latest update. And also, if you like it, please give us a thumbs and like. And also, please do share with your friends. So let's get started our session. When DBA start his shift or early in the morning enter the office, and when he log into the server, DBA has to check below things. So first thing, he or she has to check the database if the instance of database is up and running. So this is the command that he or she is supposed to use it. So the first thing a DBA when log into the server, like let's say I log into the Linux server. First thing in the morning, I have to check as a DBA that my database instance is up and running. As you can see, there is 2 instances, OEM and Gmail. My database is up and running. And the second thing is either you can check the PMON, which is process monitor, or the SMON, which is system monitor. So also I can do by SMON. As you can see, my 2 instances up and running. So this is a DBA has to do. Or if your database is cluster or rack, so what you can do is switch user to grid and switch environment to ASM1. And this is the command that you can check CRPS and then ncrsctl check CRS. This is for all nodes, CRSCTL stat res -t. So this is for ASM that you have to check early in the morning as DBA. And also the DBA has to check the listener, whether the listener is up and running or not. So you have to check is grep, and then this is the command that DBA can check. The listener is up and running. That's a good news that we have to check. And then you can check the listener status, and also you can check the TNS ping and then the service name. And also the last time you have to connect to your database in order to make sure that everything is okay with your database. So let me set the environment to my OEM instance, and then SQL class sysdba. Then you have to do SQL class as sysdba. Okay. There's a spelling wrong. SQL class as sysdba. And then this is, and df is gonna tell you this is the dates today, this is the instance name, and I have login as sysdba, and this is the version. So database is up and running, so we are good. And then he has to check the mount point of the server level, check that the mount point has enough space. Let's say the server that that the database resides has enough spaces for Oracle data file by doing the F -H. As you can see, my database is resides here on the user one my file, and I still have 176 gigabytes available, which is in really good condition. So make sure that your mount file system has enough spaces for Oracle database. So how you know in which mount file system your Oracle database data file got stored? So that's the script that you have to use it. So let's check the data files, and then let's go SQL labs as 6 DBA and this DBA. So as you can see, all my Oracle data files would be stored under the U01 mount file system. So make sure your U01 has enough spaces. Every day you have to check, because let's say every day your database is going to grow up, because many application teams and users storing a lot of information in your database. So by growing the database, it's going to consume some of this some of the space under user one. So make sure that user one has enough spaces. If you don't have enough spaces under the mount file system of user one, then it will not operate properly, and you will get an error, or the end user would not be able to do their operation, day-to-day operation in proper way. So make sure that you have enough spaces here. So that's the other check that DBA has to do. Or if your database is ASM disk group or RAG, so this is the command that we have to use. Set the environment to ASM1, ASM CMD dash P LSDG, and then it will show you the usage and free space of class data, which will be stored data file, and class flags, which will be stored archive log and video files. So make sure that these two has enough spaces, free spaces. So that's the other thing. Also, a DBA has to do DB check, as you can see. So he has to do every aspects of database check. So as you can see, select instance name from $instance. What's my instance name, my database name? As you can see, it's OEM. And then he has to do open mode from $database. Make sure your database is in read-write condition, so the end user or the application teams will be able to do their day-to-day operation on your database. And make sure that max sequence, you have a max sequence of the archive log. So you have to check everything, and DBA has to do. And then so check for invalid object list. So this is the commands that he has to run. Somewhere wrong. Yeah, objects where status is not equal to. There is a some error there. Is equal to. So anyway, there was spelling mistakes, but you can find this query here. And then DBA has to check Oracle database registry component status. So this is the query that a DBA has to check. Yeah, as you can see. So everything a DBA has to do manually. So we are talking about manually checking the database health and server. But in the next video, I'm gonna make a shell script that's gonna save the live for DBA. Within a second, he will get this report as I showed you before. Instead of doing everything manually, he will get one HTML reports. So that's why, so where we are. And also he has, DBA has to check the database size or growth by this command. Determine monthly database growth. So this will give the idea of how much your database is growing per month. Something wrong with the syntax here. Okay. And then table space sizes. I have created a table space here, how to check database size. So I'm gonna create a script for that. Where we are, okay. VI table space dot SQL. I'm gonna create a SQL script, and then this is the query that's gonna check my table space usage. So save this, and then give some permission to this file. So that should be executable. Now, if I run sysdba is the script that we have to run it at the rate. So as you can see, this you have to check like how many percentage of free space that you have, use table space size that you have used, like you have used the management table space, and this is the current table space size, and this is the free size that you have it. So you will get an idea of table spaces. Let's say if one of your table space has used the maximum of space, then you have to add some more space on your table spaces. This is how DBA has to check everything. And then a monitor data file, he has to check the data file. This is the query that he can run. So he has 7 data files. And also monitor, alert, and trace log. This is a very important topic, and a DBA has to know this. Show parameter dump. This is very interesting topic. Show parameter dump. So these are our dump parameters that you can check the alert log and trace. Let's say if something happened to your database. So what you can do, adrci. So this is a command that you have to use to check any accident happened to your database. Let's say any issue you got in your database. So this is the place, adrci, that you can check the accident. If any accident happened to your database, base you already have the base from here. You have to see the base here, and then help show alert if you want to check the alert log. So first get the help how you can check the alert log, and once you got the idea, so this is the command to check for any incident if something happened to your database. Okay, show parameter. Okay. We still don't have any error that's gonna show to us. Okay. It looks that we don't have any accident or incident in our database. Show alert log. This is another command that you can check. So we don't have any incidents for our database. So this is the way that you can check for the alert log. Okay. So we don't have any incident or accident right now. And also DBA has to check for the alert. And the main idea, the concept of monitor alert log, that if any Aura error happened to your database, so this is the place that you have to check ADRCI. And also you have to check like disaster recovery, database sync status, DB sync status, like disaster recovery between production and standby database should always be synced. So what you can do is make sure that you have to check the instance name here. And exit from here, and then exit from ADRCI. Good. I think that's good. So DBA has to check the open mode of the database. Should be in read write, which is okay. And also select the maximum sequence number from archive log, because the max sequence should match between prod and standby databases. So you have to check. All right, so the other one is have to check the archive gap, because in case there is a huge gap between prod and standby database, then you have to take incremental backup and apply it in prod on DR side and disaster recovery side. So you have to check always the system current chain number. So this is the system current chain number. DBA has to check. Okay. And also check for Arman backup status. So you have to check that Arman backup runs successfully, whether you're checking level 0 or level 1. Backup should be successful. In case of Arman backup failure, you have to look for Arman log and find it why it got failed. So once you found the failure cause, so you can restore it from your database from backup log. So these are DBA day-to-day tasks. So just think, if you do these manually, it will take at least 2 or 3 hours of your time. To avoid this and make DBA life easy, so you have to write shell script and generate one complete report within a second. So for this, we have to configure all these commands in one shell script. And when you come to office every day, just run the single shell script and you will get a complete report of database and server health check report, as I have already shown you here. This is the report that you will get within a second. So instead of doing everything manually, so write a shell script that you will get this kind of like complete HTML report. Okay, so that's what our today video about, how smartly DBA can use from shell scripting to save time on his or her day-to-day manually checking of database health or server health. The next video or session, I will write a shell script to automate the database health check. So in the please follow my next video also. So I will show you, I will guide you how to write a shell script that will generate this kind of like report. So I will show you step by step. I will write the codes and I will share the codes, the shell script codes and script with you guys. So please follow me in the next video. Please watch the next video on how to automate Oracle database health check. Thanks.